Hey, this is Jeff Jarrett, the king of the mountain and founder of Global Force Wrestling, and you're listening to WNS Podcast.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 329 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're on the Stitcher, Beyond Pod, Player.fm, and Central. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
Podcast is on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel is at WNS_Daniel, and Tyler is at Tyler_Abear.
There you go. So welcome to the show. Got lots to talk about as we make our triumphant return after taking a week off. We're going to talk about Raw, SmackDown. We got some hot topics and more. So welcome to the show. How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
Covering.
You ready for those sweet beats? Sweet beats?
Sweet beats. Does that sound familiar?
Those talking smack.
Oh,
this past week.
Everyone's saying that because I know Daniel Bryan did the rap, Sweet Beats, and someone else said, not on SmackDown, I thought someone else said. Oh, well.
I don't know. Doug, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Enjoying your week? Getting ready for 4th of July?
Sure.
You going to pop any fireworks?
So
Nope.
No?
So you go to work Monday and you're off Tuesday?
Is the 4th Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like my schedule as well. Let me guess, you have the whole week off.
Well, no.
You have the whole weekend off. 4-day weekend.
Everyone at work was like, the higher ups were telling everyone to take off.
Oh,
So
all
I'm
right.
like, okay.
I guess.
Because we have the 4th off, so they're like, take off Monday. I'm like,
That must be nice.
okay.
Well, anyways. So, well, aside from that, are you ready for this weekend?
I guess so.
It's your birthday!
Yay! I'm looking forward to, hanging out with friends and having a good time, to be honest with you. Maybe I don't get into it as much as like you and Daryl. It's like birthday week, birthday weekend. It's just a day to me.
It's falling on the weekend. It's time to celebrate.
Yeah.
It's time to celebrate you being birthed.
Yeah. 29 years ago.
Yeah.
29.
God, you're so young.
Yeah.
Never get old, hey bear.
Okay, I won't.
From this moment forth, you are to stay where you are.
Okay.
As far as aging.
Like right now?
Yes.
I'll try my best to stay 28.
Okay. All right. Unless we get to your birthday and you feel like going into 29, in which we will do so. But after that, you're not making 30, my friend.
Whoa. Okay.
Because you're staying forever young.
Okay.
You got to be forever young. I don't know why I felt like singing that.
Hey, that's fine. If you want to serenade me, that's cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
You can be singing some songs Saturday too, my main.
Karaoke night. Yeah, that's right. I got to warm up the pipes. Got to get it right.
Doug's going to sing too.
Doug's singing? All right.
Just
No,
rapping.
I don't sing.
What is some rapping?
Yeah, you can rap.
Maybe. See how it goes.
Do, let's see. ODB.
Yeah. There you go. Request courtesy of the birthday boy.
Or when you get one text Lone Star, say his lyrics.
Yes.
But that's for Doug's birthday. No, that's not my birthday. That rap. I forgot.
Yeah.
Before we get into everything, I had this conversation with you. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen Glow?
Yeah, I watched it.
I'm 2 episodes away from finishing it. You liked it?
Yeah, it's good.
It's really, 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 really cool. And you're going to probably laugh at me, but like the 8th episode I'm on, and I didn't realize until like the 7th or 8th episode, Awesome Kong is in the main cast. I didn't know that was her.
Yeah, she's lost a considerable amount of weight.
I was looking up the cast because I don't see what, all the wrestlers that are in there. I'm like, no, that's not her. That's her? Holy shit, I did not recognize her at all.
Yep.
Haven't seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's really cool. I was telling him John Morrison or Johnny Mundo's in it, Carlito, Tyrus, Alex Riley, Joey Ryan, Kazarian, and Christopher Daniels.
Even Glow can sometimes go awry.
He had like a bigger, because Kazarian and Daniels were like, there was a show going on. They were just wrestling, so they were showing them, and then like the main event on one of the episodes was Alex Riley versus Joey Ryan, and at the end, Alex Riley had a bigger part because some of the girls went to go talk to him, and they had another.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's really cool. I can't wait to finish it.
I saw where our buddy John David Guerra, name drop, pick that up. He's did a sketch about the show and even said that he had friends who weren't originally interested in wrestling reach out to him saying, dude, I saw this TV show and it's pretty cool. I'd like to check out an indie show. So in your guys' opinion, would it appeal to non-wrestling fans?
Would what?
The Glow series. Like, do you think that someone who's never watched wrestling a day in their life, would this get them interested as well? Or
you don't need to be a fan.
is it easy watching?
Yeah, I watched it in one sitting.
Wow.
Because it's pretty much just like.
Are they 30-minute episodes or hour?
30.
Oh, okay.
30-ish. It's a little over 30, 35.
It's just girls that are actors that, stuff happens in their life and they answer this call, but they become wrestlers.
Cool. I'll have to check it out.
Which I also read, this is not like a true story. I mean, there is Glow, but this is not how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Fantasy storytelling?
I guess.
Okay. Well, cool. So if you have not watched it, like myself, make sure you do that soon.
Am I missing any other wrestlers? And also, I know this is going to sound stupid. I did not realize that was Carlito until the episode where they were training those girls.
Mm-hmm.
And like whenever like he fell to the ground and like
he comes out with the apple and everything.
Yeah, well, I did not notice that. I don't know why I did not know that was him until like when he said something in the thing. I was like, holy shit, that was Carlito.
It's the hair.
Yeah.
Did he say that's not cool?
I don't think so, but he did have an apple, like he said. So.
Did he spit it in anybody's face?
No.
Oh. Okay. Well, neat. So I'm gonna have to try and get around to watch that one day. Is it like you said? You've seen like 8 episodes and there's 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah.
And they're only 30 minutes. So
yeah, that'd be a quick watch, easy Sunday afternoon kind of thing. So cool. Yeah, we got to talk about Raw. We'll talk about SmackDown. I actually fell asleep during Raw. I had it DVR'd and I was trying to watch it and ended up passing out about halfway through.
What did you fall asleep in?
I fell asleep during the like right after the Naomi and Lana.
In SmackDown.
On SmackDown, yes.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant Raw. Did the match induce your sleep, or you're just tired?
I was telling Tyler before the show. My niece and nephew came over. They're in town for the week, and so they came over, and we had cassoulet, and then we played Mario Kart for about 2 or 3 hours until about 9 o'clock, and then once they left, I got in bed, and I had already been running on about 3 hours of sleep. And so I crawled in bed, started watching it, started fast forwarding, and then all of a sudden I wake up, the TV is off, and
I just didn't know if that was an indictment of the match.
No. The match was too short.
It wasn't good. The match
it was too
good,
short for me to fall asleep on. For me to go, this is boring. I went back and watched that part on YouTube. I watched the Randy Orton partial promo and Jinder Mahal thing and the end of the Baron Corbin. I watched all that on YouTube. So I guess we can talk about it, SmackDown, while we're talking about SmackDown.
What do you like? It's very millennial of you.
Oh.
Catching the show in clips on YouTube.
Yeah, I do what I can. We didn't get to talk about Money in the Bank, which I want to give credit to the ladies for that Money in the Bank ladder match.
guys?
Because they went out and they worked their asses off for that match. I don't have as much of an issue with the finish as a lot of people out there seem to have. Like, I understand they're trying to create history, but you also have to consider they're trying to get people talking about it, and that was certainly one way to do it. Is it the right decision? Maybe not, but they went with that decision, whatever. But I thought the match itself was really, really strong. But did you guys have any thoughts of Money in the Bank before we dive into SmackDown?
I mean, I didn't think the match was all that. I mean, we're talking about the women's Money in the Bank match. I didn't think the match was all that. I think why so many people. Okay, first of all, I think the whole Carmella thing is another instance of them like using like post kayfabeism like in their favor. I think that it was like their intention all along to do what they did because like Daniel Bryan had a tweet out within like not just like within the same show, but within minutes of the match, Daniel Bryan had already tweeted out that this wasn't going down like this and they were going to settle this first thing on SmackDown. So this wasn't like them backpedaling on a reaction that they didn't foresee coming. I think that they knew this reaction was coming, and I think it's like another case of like the post kayfabeism. Like, what are like if you were gonna say what is the majority of the audience in general's opinion of Carmella before this, like what would you say? I would say indifference. I would say like no one loves her, no one hates her. People just sort of like see her there.
Yeah.
And
she's still kind of new and
right, but to me this is the same. And first of all, let me just say that I completely understand why people were critical of this being, and I think there is valid criticism in people saying this is the first ever women's Money in the Bank match and a man helped like the woman win the match. And that is criticism that WWE has to accept, because not only do they pat themselves on the back so hard for their philanthropy and for their women's revolution, and when you do that, then you have to take this criticism like head on. You have to like take this into account. Like, this match was not just like billed as the first ever, like all the way up to it was billed as a historic event.
Yeah.
And like all the way up to the video package right before the match, it wasn't just like this is the first ever. They showed all the women throughout the history of the WWE, and they said this is our history, this is our revolution. So it was 100% billed as this historic thing. And look, I'm not a woman. I don't want to speak for women, and I don't want to, but like in absence of a woman being here on our show, like what I gather from seeing women talk about media in general, like the portrayals that women seem to have, like who seem to be tired of, and what their biggest problems are is like women being incapable or women only like existing in the orbit of men or needing men around. And that is, yes, there's an argument to be made that she's the power player in that position and that Ellsworth is her stooge, and like you could validly argue that that's a power position. She's using him, not the other way around. But just like the fact of the matter is, there is like some valid criticism to building this as a historic event, as the first time ever, and then you like involve a man in the finish. Now, I totally can sympathize with that, but what I think that they did, and like to me, what this is what they did with Roman in the Royal Rumble. They said, well, like, I mean, okay, first of all, like, who is the one person in the whole company that has any legitimate heat? It's Roman Reigns. He's the only person with real. He's the only person who gets a real gut like reaction out of anybody. Everybody else on the card, for the most part, here or there, is just politely cheer the people you like, politely boo the people you don't, whatever. It's not, you don't like react like from your gut on these people. You're just like, oh, that was a good match, let's applaud the good match, or I don't like that guy, let's boo that guy. But you don't like get that from your gut reaction. But like this whole post kayfabeism thing, where like that's how they're able to manipulate your reactions now. Like, this is, to me, this is the same thing as the Roman Reigns thing, is because they're like, we're going to throw this guy out here. Like, people aren't booing Roman Reigns because he's having bad performances. People aren't cheering Roman Reigns because he's having good performances. People are reacting to Roman Reigns in the way they feel the company is positioning him. And this, to me, is the same thing. It's like, people were pissed off that the WWE, like, was going to fuck up again. Like, you pat yourself on the back so hard about this, like, women's revolution thing. And then you go out there and you're so, like, blind to your own, like, errors that, like, you have a man involved in the finish of the first ever, women's Money in the Bank. To me, that's them trying to capitalize on that. That was, like, because no one has it, like I was trying, I talk in circles and I explain myself very poorly, but, like, this is going back to the Carmella thing. No one has strong feelings about Carmella because they just don't, for whatever reason, if that's on her as a performer or how she's booked or whatever. But that reaction was not like a yay, good match, or a boo, bad match. That was like, God damn, what the fuck are they doing? That was like a real, like, reaction from people. People actually, like, felt, like, pissed off, not like.
And now she's got that heat.
And they tried to use that to make a person. And like, look, there is some legitimate criticism in the fact that they pat themselves so hard on the back for, like, this women's revolution thing, and then they have this. But I genuinely believe they knew what they were doing the whole time, because it was too quick of a. Daniel Bryan was like, "This is bullshit. We're gonna fix this."
Shane McMahon tweeting out as well. This isn't how it's supposed to go.
They are never that quick to react to fans' like reactions. You know what I mean? Like they had to.
So they had to know what they were doing.
They were watching along with us.
Well, look. I mean, look. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying in my gut, this is what I feel that's happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And if you feel free to disagree and feel free to, say your argument, I think this was them. Like, there is no, like I said 100 times now, people only politely cheer or politely boo for people they like or people they don't like. They're trying to get, like, real, like, gut reactions out of people, and this is, like, one of the few ways they can do. There is no possible way left. Yes, maybe for some of the younger crowd out there is a, like, gut reaction to, like, good guys and bad guys and what people. Nobody boos anybody for what they do in the ring or as a character. People boo people over what position they're put in, whether they believe they deserve to be there or not. And I think that they are learning to play with this stuff, and I could be wrong. And, like, I don't want to speak for women. Like, in women that are listening, please feel free to say this is bullshit and here's why. Please, whatever. I'm just saying, like, I think this was on purpose. I don't think this was backpedaling, because they're not that good at fucking backpedaling.
No, that is true. They're not.
And, they don't have a history of, like, correcting course so quickly. You know what I mean?
Well, to counter that just a little bit,
sure, go ahead.
They did a great job of making me start to believe that they were going to do that with Big Cass. Like, I think what I was thinking was, wow, are they going to turn him back and be like, you know what, I was just frustrated or something like that?
I kind of got that feeling at first.
Then,
well, you could tell the awkwardness when he walked up the ramp. Then I was like, nope.
Yeah, but during the time of his apology, and I'm so sorry about that, I've never felt more ashamed. I felt like that they were trying to backtrack that. They were like, oh, God, like the crowd generally doesn't want them to break up. And maybe we could try and save it
you
at
should
some
know
point.
WWE.
Yeah, but I mean that's sort of where my mind went with that.
They let it linger enough because people were shitting on it initially. People weren't buying it initially, and they let it linger enough to where people are like, oh, maybe they are. And then, but I mean, back to, like, the Carmella and Ellsworth thing. The first segment on SmackDown, they got a really good reaction off of playing off the stuff from Money in the Bank. Like, Ellsworth, whenever he's like, you know what, buddy, you're fucking banned. And, like, the crowd was, like, into it. They were like, fuck this guy. We're in the, and, is this going to help make Carmella long-term? We'll see. Who knows? The jury's still out. We don't know, but
she still has work to do.
But from the only evidence we have to go on, which was SmackDown, what they did seems to have worked for her and for Ellsworth. So,
what were your thoughts on the SmackDown segment from last week where she came out and basically addressed, like, look, other people have gotten involved in the matchup. Kane helped Seth Rollins, and y'all didn't seem to have an issue with that. They were sort of pointing out some of the errors And then, they sort of countered that by saying, well, yeah, Kane got involved, but he didn't grab the briefcase and hand it to Seth Rollins.
I mean, I think they were just trying to play on the, like, good villains believe that they didn't do anything wrong or they believe that they're right. So you give her a strong enough argument to where you can see how she doesn't think she actually broke any rules, which technically she didn't. But you can also, you also got to leave enough room for like the other side of the argument. We're like, yeah, but no one's ever like took it off and given it to someone before. That's like a this is uncharted territory. You know what I mean?
Because I remember Tyson Tomko helping Christian try to get the briefcase one year. He put him on his shoulders and climbed up the ladder. And that was at WrestleMania, I think, like 21 or 22. But
I mean, I just think even if Carmella had won this on her own, like without Ellsworth, or even if they had done it, even if they had involved Ellsworth in the finish, but Carmella got the briefcase on her own, I don't think she's as good a position as she is now. Yeah,
and that could be the reason why they did it, because it caused such a controversy.
That's what I'm saying. Because you don't need to do it with Becky. She's already got her spot. You don't need to do it with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do that, Tamina's like knees are shot. You can see how she can barely get around. I mean, she's
going to make you look like James Ellsworth.
Tamina's basically like immobile. She's not getting around very well. She didn't seem to be getting around very well to me. And I mean, like, if they're going to take a chance on somebody, like, take a chance, and they did, and it seems like it may pay off. We'll see, like, in the long run, if this works or not. It seems to have worked for, like, a couple of weeks. So
going back to Tamina a little bit, I find it bad that they, on commentary, they're like, oh, she is so dominant, she's so, this and that, yet they never portray any of that in her matches. Like, she's always the one getting beaten up, she's always taking the pins and all that.
Well, like in Money in the Bank, they gave her, like, the openings, like, little stretch. She did a lot of I'm talking about the pay-per-view, not the second one. Like,
yeah, I didn't get to watch it on SmackDown this week because unfortunately I fell asleep, but
yeah, they gave her like a nice little stretch. She basically got that Nia like opening, like, run through everybody's spot at the beginning of the pay-per-view match.
So let's go into that matchup, the rematch Money in the Bank, second ever Money in the Bank ladder match for the ladies. First time it ever took place outside of a pay-per-view. So it was Charlotte.
You're doing that whole, like, Kevin Owens, I'm the longest reigning, like, Universal Champion thing.
She's now a 2-time, which is two times more than anybody else. It was Carmella, Charlotte, Natalya, Tamina, Becky Lynch, Money in the Bank again. But this time James Ellsworth was banned from the arena. Went out kicking and screaming, too.
The crotch, when he got crotched, they got over huge, too. Like, when they're like, again, what the fuck? And then they crotched him off. Oh, you didn't see the match.
I didn't get to see it.
Okay, they teased it again where he runs back out during the match. He picks her up. He picks the ladder up for her. He starts climbing the ladder like he's going to do it again. Becky comes over, tumps him over. He, like, split legs on the top rope, like, nice. Crotches him. And, yeah, they basically, like, teased it again, and it got over. So
Not again.
So take us through, we don't have to do like play-by-play, but take us through some of the moments of the match and then the finish. What do you think?
The match was fine, and I think the teases, the callbacks to the match, to the pay-per-view match worked in the whole. They teased the Ellsworth thing again, and I mean, I don't know. I don't think that there's any like spots in particular that beckon to be like mentioned, but other than the callbacks. But I thought the match was fine. I don't know.
Cool. For SmackDown, we got to see the Usos going up against the Hype Bros. Usos end up getting the victory. Then they're confronted by New Day, who then proceed to try and cut a Booker T-esque style promo. I don't know if you guys caught that reference, but
maybe I'm forgetting.
Where Big E comes out and says, "We want the gold."
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Gold, sucker.
Yeah. We coming for you, Usos. We meant to say Usos. That's what we're going with.
Coming for you, Usos.
I got to see the Fashion Vice Breezango interrogating Ascension. Chuckled a little bit at that with the concert tickets that they tried to offer to sweeten the deal, and in the end of
what was the concert?
Oh, I don't remember the artist.
80s.
Something like that, yeah.
Some like cheesy like 80s rock or like 80s pop. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but then they were like, no, we only listen to thrash
We only
grindcore.
listen to thrash metal, remember? Oh, yeah. We didn't attack you? Well, then who did? You know, the question lingers on. But then at the end of the segment, you see their hands reach out and take the tickets. So, turns out they'll go see that show. Naomi defeats Lana in quick fashion after Lana does a cheap shot, tries to get the advantage. But Naomi ends up retaining or winning the match. Aiden English gets RKO'd in the ring, and then Randy Orton proceeds to cut a promo.
Poor Aiden English. He's just going to be like a jobber.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
I mean,
what else?
The world needs jobbers. I mean, you know.
Which I saw a YouTube video earlier today, and it reminded me of someone who's on the SmackDown roster whom we haven't seen in some time. Where's Sin Cara been? Just a reminder that he's on SmackDown now.
House shows.
Yeah. Excuse me. Randy Orton cut a promo about how he's going to beat the hell out of Jinder Mahal. And
third match is a charm.
And he's going to do it several more times if he gets the opportunity. You took out my family, so I got to take out you. Shane McMahon comes out and says, well, hey, if you're talking about taking out family members, you and I have a bit of history.
I mean, I know we missed like a week and we didn't really talk about the pay-per-view, but their match, for what it was, the way like they involved like the old timers and stuff, that was pretty well done.
Yeah. What did you think about the tag match ending on a count out? Did you have any issues with it, or are you okay with it?
Which tag match are we talking?
The Usos and New Day for the tag titles.
Oh, that's
Money in the
right.
Bank.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I figured that they weren't finished, and so I mean, my problem in general is that they're treating these like special events, quote unquote, pay-per-views, like they come with such frequency that they're treating them just like any other show. They're not giving like satisfying payoffs and finishes to these matches.
Yeah,
that wasn't the only one. There was something else on the card that I was like, oh, they're gonna do like 2 or 3 of these fucking finishes. There was I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember thinking it then.
Yeah,
I don't know.
All I got to say is thank God that we're watching on the network. I'm praying that people aren't still, cashing out.
That's why they feel that they can deliver or not deliver these like payoffs and these satisfying conclusions, because you're paying $10 a month. No one's gonna be like, I'm so fucking pissed at this show that it's not worth my $10. People are just like, it's $10. I'm gonna just fucking keep it.
Yeah, it's $10. I'll watch the next pay-per-view and be equally disappointed.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
in 2 weeks,
like the price of the service is so low that you can't get mad enough to like cancel over it. Which is how they feel that they can get away with like being like delivering such unsatisfactory like finishes to stuff.
Yeah. Like, I'm curious if there's people out there still ordering pay-per-views the traditional way, like on their TV.
Not many. I'm sure.
Or even if it's still available.
I'm sure
it's not available in the United States, right? It has to be overseas.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Not many.
Yeah. There's no telling. But yeah. Shane McMahon comes out and says you're going to have a match with Jinder Mahal at Battleground, and Jinder gets to pick the stipulation, which he comes out and says it's going to be a Punjabi prison match.
And then Great Khali comes out too, and they're tag team partners.
That'd be fucking rad if they were like a stable though.
Yeah.
He said that Khali was his personal hero, which is awesome.
Which didn't that's how he was introduced or something. Like he was supposed to be like the brother-in-law or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So, that's weird.
I don't know, man.
What's really funny is that Kayfabe News, I don't know if you guys follow them on Facebook, but they posted an article that says Jinder Mahal rehired specifically to use the Punjabi prison match again, but it was posted 5 years ago. And so they reposted it. They were like, we can't believe it. We predicted the future again. Wow. So, for the first time in 10 years, we're going to get to see the Punjabi prison match, which is going to be interesting to say the least.
You think we see a Khali appearance out of this?
God.
I mean, I'm being serious. Do you think because he's over big in India?
Yeah, but can he still wrestle?
I don't think he has to. I just think he needs to
he just needs to do a chop.
Yeah.
I mean,
How much do you have to work out for that?
could he ever wrestle?
No. The answer is no.
I mean, just make some sort of appearance to like bolster like gender. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
all he has to do is lift his hand and
all he's gonna do
yell.
is like stand behind him and like pat him on the back, like, yeah, this is my dude. What's up?
Yeah,
Lord.
You think it's a possibility?
that would be cool.
I mean, they mentioned him
Yeah.
on air. I mean,
Anything is possible in the WWE. As much as I hate to say it.
Then Great Khali can throw the Singh brothers around.
No, he'll
They're
put,
so
he'll
small.
put them
They're
on
so
his
small.
shoulders.
Nah,
On
they're
his shoulders,
together.
lift them up.
Yeah, he'll lift them and
oh, dude, actually, it'd be. I'm seeing it now. That would be actually fucking cool if he was just like more muscle for the entourage.
Yeah, man. I feel like you know,
he doesn't wrestle.
up.
He's just the enforcer.
Yeah, just throw some fucking head chops on people.
head chop or just chops. Throw some kicks, kick people in the head. Stuff like that. I'll be down.
He probably can't do that.
Okay, well, chops will be fine.
He definitely chops someone.
yeah,
in the head.
chops. Okay, yeah.
He's a one-trick pony.
He runs a wrestling school. Or okay, his name is on a wrestling school.
There you go.
I don't know if he's actually doing
Great
anything.
Khali needs to get
He
hooked
does
up
the
with.
chop to knock them down, then he does the vice grip on their head.
Great Khali needs to get in touch with Diamond Dallas Page, get some yoga going on. He'll be stretching before you know it, and he can do some kicks.
Stretch you.
Not kicks, like like a big boot. Kick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be down for that. And Seth Rickson would be too.
You down with Great Khali?
Yeah,
You
you
know
know me.
You down with Great Khali?
Yeah,
Oh.
you know me.
Everybody.
We laugh, man, but he's still like the coolest dude I know because that time where he was leaning
Joe
against
Cole, I know. He's
Oh,
leaning on
man.
the side wearing the
I wish I
shades.
could find that clip because he looked pretty dang cool.
Lord have mercy.
You know it. You know he looked cool.
Anywho, Baron Corbin goes up against Sami Zayn.
Hey, I missed this part. Did they show on SmackDown Mike Kanellis come out?
Well, actually,
Or
like
is that like exclusive?
they came out and they started to do their spiel, and then Sammy's music hits and interrupts them, and he walks through them. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I gotta go to my match or whatever." Like they didn't even
Priorities, you
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. Like they were doing their thing, like they talked for like maybe like 30 seconds, and his music hits. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just gotta go to the ring for my match."
All
or
about
whatever.
love.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Mike Bennett, but I'm excited that he's in WWE because I'm keen and like on fresh matchups. So
Yeah.
him with someone that I've never seen before. So
And Maria's back.
yeah, they're doing that. Their same shtick that they did
Love.
TNA, and it's a little different.
Love
but
is
TNA.
all we need.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
That's cool that they brought him to the main roster instead of NXT though.
Mm-hmm. Straight to the top.
Sure.
Cool. Baron Corbin goes on to defeat Sami Zayn. Then we find out that the Usos are going to face the New Day in a rap battle next week. So be on the lookout for that. And as we mentioned, Carmella, is she the two-time or is she just Miss Money in the Bank? That's the question now.
I don't know.
Can't be 2-time.
Two-time?
Maybe she can, but
Technically, she's won it twice. Two-time. With a 0% cash-in rate. So there you go. So that covers SmackDown. We'll talk about Raw. Roman Reigns kicks things off going into his spiel, saying, this is still my yard. I'm the big dog. I call the shots, which I found kind of interesting for his character to do because it was almost a heel type promo in my eyes, or at least in my ears.
Well, I think the yard, he keeps bringing up his yard because of the Undertaker thing.
Yeah. But it's like it's almost like they're trying to get the crowd to boo him.
I don't think they have to try.
Well, for those who are still on the fence of the yard. Because he was kind of like...
I think they're just playing him down the middle. Like, he's not necessarily one way or the other.
See, I don't know, because like he was saying, this is my yard now. Then he said, I make the rules, or something along that. It was like, either I'm in charge or I make the rules, which is kind of a cocky thing to say. Like, I understand, they're trying to build him up as the next big guy. And then,
I mean,
that might be looking a little too far into it, but
it might just be confidence, maybe overconfidence.
yeah. But then, the ambulance siren started sounding throughout the arena. An ambulance backed up. Roman Reigns went to go check it out. He was ambushed by Braun Strowman. They fought on the entrance ramp, and then Strowman did a sick toss of Roman Reigns. Got to give props to Reigns for taking that bump because it was just splat into the side of the ambulance.
Yeah, I mean, they did the whole, like, I'm going to open the back, and then he's not in there thing. But after that, it was like a fun, like, little brawl.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of chuckled a bit at Braun. He was getting ready to throw Roman in the back of the ambulance, and he opened the one door, and it was fine. He went to open the second door, couldn't get it. Opened the second door, got it open, and then it started to close on him. And then he finally just moved in front of the door and threw Roman in.
Just rip that fucking thing off.
Yeah. But then he can't get the satisfaction of like slamming the door shut and patting the back of it and having it drive away with Roman inside. So yeah, I mean, Roman,
I mean, the stipulation itself doesn't do a whole lot for me, but these guys have worked really well together, and I'm excited to see what they put together.
Yeah. And Braun is getting such a reaction. His return last week was insane, the way that the crowd reacted. As soon as the door swung open, he just stood there and, comes out to the ring and attacks Roman Reigns.
Boy, am I happy to see you.
Yes. I mean, that's something that...
I told you I wasn't going to be out the whole thing. They were doing he's supposed to be out for 4 more months.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Comes out and is like, no, Roman, see, you got it all wrong. I'm still not finished with you. And slams him and
beat your ass.
Pretty much beat his ass. So yeah, I'm glad to see that this feud is picking back up, because it was the one feud before the injury occurred that I was excited to see. Now we've got this feud and Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, and I don't care how the match ends at Great Balls of Fire between Lesnar and Samoa Joe. I am so looking forward to watching the match.
God, it feels like almost like a miracle they haven't fucked this up somehow, right?
Yes. Well, they still have one more week.
I was about to say, no, be careful. Don't move. Don't move. Don't say nothing.
Just stay still. They still have time. They've done such a great job.
They were like taken by surprise the reaction that Joe got, and they're like, oh, maybe we should.
He can actually get a good reaction.
Yeah, it's just been good shit from these.
I was about to say, just soak it in because it's about to be over.
He's gonna lose, but they could still in defeat. He can still come off like a badass.
Yeah,
it's all in how they're gonna work the match and what they're gonna give him. I mean, and how they're gonna treat him after. Like it's you don't have to. If they after this match, if they just like flush him after this, then it's it's all for nothing. But they don't necessarily have to.
I think this is their opportunity to make a new, credible, dominant heel champion. Like, I know they're not going to pull the trigger, but everyone's complaining that the champion, like they put it on Lesnar because he's a credible threat, right? Like he's a legitimate badass guy.
I think they think he's the closest thing to a draw they have.
Yeah, but I
outside of Cena.
Sure, but I feel like you can have. By having Joe, if they were to have Joe defeat Lesnar, that would get a lot of new eyes on Samoa Joe. It's
not gonna. I mean, I'm not saying
to the same level.
It couldn't work. I'm not saying it couldn't or wouldn't work. I'm saying it's never happening. He's not winning.
Yeah.
I'm saying the most we can hope for is they beat him in a way that doesn't squander everything they've done up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
See, this has been awesome, but also seems weird because the whole like I said, the whole Goldberg thing was a different situation, but it doesn't seem like he's gave this to anyone else. Like Dean Ambrose thing, nah.
He's real picky about who he like will put over in a strong manner.
I don't really remember the fights before the match with the CM Punk thing, but that was a disappointment too. I felt like I don't know, but I don't know. I just haven't felt like this.
Face thing was like, man, he gave him a lot in the he really did.
I mean, the pull apart brawl was great. The fact that Joe walked down to the ring and they just butted heads and went right at it. So it's showing that he's not intimidated. He's not afraid of Brock Lesnar.
Brock obviously likes him, or he wouldn't give this up.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, just put it on Joe, like, because you would have a full timer who is a credible threat. You're the guy that took out Brock Lesnar.
This is just speculation. I wonder if Dean's kind of jealous.
I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't feel like he got a good situation with Lesnar. You know what I mean? Not as good.
Well, he
as
wanted more of an extreme match, and Lesnar didn't want to do that
because he didn't feel like Dean was a guy he could do a lot with.
Yeah.
Lesnar does go out of his way to make people look badass when he wants to make them look badass. Like, he made Goldberg look awesome, and Goldberg couldn't do shit. Goldberg got gassed walking to the ring, but he was like, okay, I'm gonna let
headbutt a door.
Headbutt a door and get a concussion and bleed. But just as a fan, I would really like to see Joe get the title. Like, I know they're not going to
it's
do
either
it.
Strowman or Reigns who is going to dethrone.
I don't want to see.
Lesnar.
I don't want to see.
I would be fine with Strowman. I'm fine with Reigns or Strowman.
I feel like we've seen. Obviously we have. We've seen Roman versus Lesnar. I don't want to see that. I have no issues with.
They had really fucking good matches.
They did. It was a good match. But I don't know.
I'm intrigued by. I know what a Lesnar Reigns match looks like, and I know that I already know that I like it, but I'm like intrigued like how a Strowman Lesnar match plays out.
Yeah.
And I desire that the most just because I'm not sure what that looks like yet.
That's two big guys who are surprisingly agile for their size.
I remember having a conversation with y'all like when all the Wyatts were on Raw, and that's when they beat down Lesnar and stuff. And he was throwing out German suplex to everyone except for Braun. And I remember you saying, he's too green for that. He can't take that German suplex.
When he first came on, he had like 3 matches or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
For his experience level, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Most improved in the shortest amount of time.
A couple of like matches in developmental.
Yeah. And I'm sure he, worked house shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
he did not start his career as a professional wrestler. He was a strong man who got brought into the wrestling world.
No, I think he period, including like house shows or whatever, only had a handful of matches before he was on the roster. I don't think he had like 3 televised matches and then like a bunch of whatever. I'm just saying like he only had a handful of matches, period.
Yeah. But I want to see Joe versus Lesnar. I want to see Strowman versus Lesnar. Like we said, we've seen Reigns versus Lesnar, which I'm not opposed. I would just prefer other matches to that one.
Well, we are gonna see Joe versus Lesnar, and we are gonna see Strowman versus Lesnar.
We may see. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but I think there's gonna be Balor versus Lesnar.
They're gonna do Balor and they're gonna do Seth before they change his title. They've built in stories where they kind of have to, unless they go the quick route. Unless they're gonna hotshot their Mania plans to like SummerSlam, then maybe not. But
have y'all heard the rumor as far as Baron Corbin possibly trying to cash in on Lesnar?
How's that gonna work?
He's Money in the Bank.
No, I mean Lesnar's on.
Yeah, but he's got the Money in the Bank. I don't know if it specifies that he can only cash in on the WWE champion. I don't know if it says you can't.
I don't know if I would like to see Lesnar and Corbin.
Well, just saying.
I've got no beef with Corbin. I think he's a project that would work out eventually, but I see too many guys who are ready to go right now. I feel like Strowman is like vastly like better in every possible. I think he's a better worker, and I think he's a better promo. I mean, that's fun. I mean, it sounds funny to say he's a better promo because he doesn't. He's not like an eloquent speaker, but he doesn't have to be.
Which is funny because, like, if you go back and listen to his interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin, that podcast he does, he is very well spoken.
Yeah, but I mean, just like he doesn't have to like say a bunch of like smart ass stuff. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and you're like, right on, big dude.
Would you say he's all brawn?
Hey, what does he
Terrible.
use to pick up that soda he just dropped? Is it Brawny Towel?
Probably. He should get a sponsorship.
Yes.
I'm not like a huge fan of Baron Corbin on the mic.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of.
He's better on talking smack than he is like on SmackDown.
He's had a couple of promos where I've been like, all right, I see where you're coming from, but I don't think he has a handle on like his character the way that Braun does.
It's a work in progress.
Which is fine. It's not that hard, but
work in progress.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to some of those matches. I'm definitely, as ridiculous as the title of the pay-per-view is, I'm greatly looking forward to Great Balls of Fire.
It's shaping up to be a pretty good show. What are the other matches?
We're probably going to see Enzo versus Big Cass.
That's right.
We're probably going to see Goldust versus R-Truth.
You're right.
We're probably going to see Miz versus Dean Ambrose.
That's right.
Probably going to see
Hardy's
and Cesaro and Sheamus. Neville versus Akira Tozawa.
Which I'm
Sasha
and Alexa Bliss.
I'm going for that because I hope that Akira wins it. He's part of Titus brand, man. They can go all the way with the Titus brand.
That's right.
Yeah. So I believe in Titus brand.
It's Titus Worldwide now. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, I actually believe. I'm totally behind this. The whole Titus thing. It's not even funny.
TW baby.
I hope they can keep it together long enough to like pay Lucha Underground whatever obscene amount of money to get Ricochet out of his contract. Cool. I just want like all three of them managed by Titus.
That'd be cool.
That would be nice.
I just want like their little shake cup best friend dudes like managed by Titus who can't say their names right and shit.
Ricochet? Is that how you say it? Ricochet.
Go back to Lesnar and Joe. I hope the match itself is not like a domination. I mean, they're already proving it right now. It's not gonna be domination by just Lesnar and stuff. Just a slugfest. They're both beating the heck out of each other. Just this awesomeness all around.
Well, I think like Doug said, Lesnar's showing a whole lot in favor of Joe. So I feel like they're actually going to put together a pretty solid matchup because Joe can go, Lesnar can go, and hell, even Paul Heyman's talking about like this is not going to be your normal match. Obviously, he's the hype man.
I can't
That's
believe
his job,
this. If you think about it, it's like, okay, I was pumped when WWE got Joe. They brought him in NXT, and then he even said it in the Table for Three that he thought it was just NXT was going to be his place.
Yeah.
From now, that's how they were going to use him. Now look at him. Main roster, main event. He's fucking taking on some the Brock Lesnar. Samoa Joe's taking on Samoa Joe.
My money's on Samoa Joe.
What's so cool too? I was talking to someone about this. I still, it's put up.
He's actually a nice guy. We're gonna do.
Samoa Joe. I have that figure with the whole.
That value's going up, sir.
Yeah, I really wish I have a picture with him, but the figure's on the side. And you can't tell which figure it was. I wish I had a picture with him, and I just showed that had the figure too. So, but
so what you do is for future reference, you take a picture while they're signing it.
Yeah,
that's your proof.
For people who don't know, I have
new listeners.
I have a action figure in the package. It's a TNA figure. On the back, it's Raw Truth Killings. The figure is Samoa Joe, and the label on the front is Raven. And I got Samoa Joe to sign it. So years ago. So yeah,
if you can get all three of those guys to sign it, can you imagine like?
I was bummed. What was that show that we were gonna go to, and Raven like had to leave or whatever? We didn't get to see Raven.
Was that the House of Hardcore show?
Yeah, maybe it was that. I was pumped because I was going to get Raven to sign that, and he backed out. And then I would have one signature.
Yeah,
I need
R-Truth.
Yeah.
We'll get that somehow.
Somehow, someday,
Some
way.
Yes, it will happen. We got to see Finn Balor team up with the Hardy Boys going up against Elias Sampson, Cesaro, and Sheamus. Good guys win. Bad guys lose.
I saw. Sorry, I'll get back into the match, but I saw a Facebook exclusive, a backstage thing with the Hardy Boys and Finn Balor, and they're they were saying they were happy to team up and all that stuff, and then Matt Hardy, they said I can't talk. Blah. Matt said he was delighted to work with Finn Balor, and then they're talking about Cesaro and Sheamus, and it's like, Cesaro and Sheamus, when you get in our way, you will be deleted. He said that, so I don't know.
They're teasing it.
I don't know.
Maybe because it's non-televised.
I don't know. And then also, wherever they were on Raw, Jeff Hardy says it's been since
Los Angeles.
Okay, it's been since 2009 that he's been in that arena. He goes, the last time I was here was when I faced CM Punk. He said CM Punk, so.
Interesting.
He mentioned it.
Yeah. We almost got to see the match between Goldust and R-Truth. Goldust had his own personal camera person or film operator, however they worded it. Before the match gets underway, Goldust attacks R-Truth, and
can I be honest with you? Like, I did not like the whole like duration of this. I was like, is the ref really gonna let this guy just be like up in the ring while the match is going on?
Hey man, you gotta get out of here! Hey,
it didn't like register to me like until they're like, this match never got started. I was like, oh okay, it never got started. I was like, is the ref just like gonna just let the dude stand in the ring?
He's not doing his job at all.
Yeah.
Who the is this guy?
He's just like dressing all golden and carry a camera and you get in the ring.
He's with me. He's with me.
At first, because they didn't show the camera person's face, but for whatever reason, I thought it was Rockstar Spud.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just because, like, small frame, the hair and all that, whatever.
Goldust is tall. He's kind of
He
tall.
is really tall. After that, we got Miz TV.
Oof.
This was pretty bad.
I wasn't even looking forward to it because I don't know that guy that well, but I read a lot of stuff on him online. Dude runs his mouth.
Yeah, the older gentleman is the father of the second guy who came out, and he'd been hyping him for the NBA draft, and he got drafted to the Lakers. Yeah, he's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. In this segment, it derailed so fast, and it later crashed and burned.
It was like, I think that guy was just trying to entertain his kids because his kids were just laughing the whole time.
I don't know, but it was bad to say. That's putting it lightly.
Also, I didn't hear that thing that the kid said. They must have bleeped it, but I went online because I didn't hear that.
I didn't. I thought he was saying something else, but then I went back and listened to it. I was like, okay, I can hear it. LaMelo, I found out that was the boy's name. Dropped a certain word not supposed to be saying on live television to a national audience, but he said it twice. Dean Ambrose came out, I guess, to try and save the segment, but that fell flat. The crowd was too busy laughing at the Ball family, and they weren't paying attention at all to what Dean was saying. And as soon as he said, it looks like I'm going to be your opponent for Great Balls of Fire, they cued his music and went to commercial. So
get that family out of the ring now.
Yeah. So, Doug, what did you think of this lovely segment?
I mean, like, I didn't know who these dudes were or why I was supposed to care. This obviously wasn't for me. Like, I understand why they did it because they did get a lot of media coverage out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, I mean, I don't know if I thought it was dumb. Like, but I accept that I may be in the minority because a lot of people I saw were like into it, and maybe it's just one of those things that was not for me. and not every celebrity has to be for me, and that's fine or whatever. I just thought it was dumb. They obviously cut it short because the dude like went into business for himself.
Yeah.
My only thought really was like, I'm glad this is the Miz that they chose to do this with, because
not everyone would be able to carry themselves through this.
Well, no, not so much that. Miz almost like looked like he lost it a couple of times too, just laughing at the dude. But like the thing about the Miz is it's not his character to be like a tough guy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So when the dude is like clowning on him, it doesn't like hurt the Miz really, because he's just like a slime ball who like cheats to win or whatever.
Yeah.
But if like, you know, if it was like a dude who's in there who needed to look hard, and then like that dude is just like clowning on him, it's sort of like you paid this dude to show up and clown on one of your guys.
Yeah. Did you see Maurice's reaction? Like, she was like, "Oh my god, like this needs to end or something."
I mean, look, I don't know. Like, obviously, they did because I saw like so much like outside coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And I even saw people who were into the segment. I can accept that it's just something that wasn't for me, and I thought it was dumb. I don't know. Did you guys see a lot of like positive reaction to it? Because I felt like I did.
I didn't see positive. I just saw a lot of people talking about it, and everyone was commenting about the word that was being used, and it was just.
See, I didn't see a lot about
I just felt lost.
See, I didn't see a lot of talk about I mean, I heard people mentioned like him saying the N-word, but like I didn't feel like anyone was like making that a thing. So,
Yeah.
But I felt like people were, at least for the shit I was looking at, people were into it. And I was just like, well, I'm just not, I'm in the minority on this one. Like this isn't for me, and I can accept that or whatever. But I was just like, who are these people? Why is this happening? I don't care.
Yeah.
And
what are they trying to promote? What's going on?
I get the whole, like, obviously they got what they wanted because they got a ton of outside coverage on this. But, like, to me, this goes back to our discussion that we have every so often where it's like, does that translate into anything meaningful?
No.
Like, are those... Okay, I understand. Like, I didn't know who they were, but I gathered just from what they said on the show, he's a basketball player for the Lakers. They're in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Are basketball fans going to tune in for this consistently? Are they going to, wrestling's like, year round? Are they going to tune in like to see this instead of basketball? Like, to me, this is like one of those, like, what does this outside publicity actually accomplish for you? Sure,
Yeah.
people talked about it, but does that translate into new fans? Does that translate into a bigger audience? I don't know. I think there is enough like evidence to suggest that it never does.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even with like people who I feel like make sense, because like the Stephen Amell thing, I was like, oh, well, that was well done. He had a good match. They did a cool angle. I mean, this is sort of like anecdotal evidence, but we know Noah. Like, Noah's not a wrestling fan because Stephen Amell was on the fucking, like, Noah like loves that show, but he doesn't watch wrestling all the time just because that didn't convert him into a fan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, he may like hang out at like WrestleMania or something, but that's like a social event for him. That's not, he's not here to like be a fan every week. So what does this ever accomplish? Even when it's people that I like, that I think make sense, that are for me, even then I'm like, does this actually accomplish anything? Probably not.
I agree.
Not.
It doesn't, because I feel like it gets those people just to tune in to that segment or that show, and then they don't continue to watch, the next episode when that guest or star is gone. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is nothing new. They've done celebrities fucking from the beginning. There have always been celebrities around wrestling.
Those week-to-week celebrities they had, like, every, like...
Well, even before that, the very first WrestleMania.
Yeah. The whole rock and wrestling fucking era was, like, founded on, like, celebrities. So, like, this is not a new thing for wrestling. But, like, have they ever helped? Maybe they did it one time and they just keep thinking they could, like, rekindle that thing that worked. But I don't see any evidence to support that it works.
Yeah.
I mean, with people we actually know, like, who like the people that are on the show.
10% of the time it works.
I don't know.
I mean, it helped to start the whole, like WrestleMania. Like, would it have been as big as it was without the celebrities?
Yes. Yes.
Well, some might beg to differ. But
what? You think that those handful of celebrities drew like extra house or drew extra like subscriptions? Or?
I can't say for certain, but I know they get a lot of credit for it.
Look,
but
think certain celebrities like Drew Carey and Snooki.
No, not celebrities like that. But anyways, when I first heard that this family was going to be on there, I was like, oh, that's going to be a perfect tie-in for Titus O'Neil. The Ball brand meets the Titus brand, and Titus is going to try to like acquire their brand and, oh, let me run the business for you. And, you know, it would have been like a great backstage thing. That's what I thought they were going to do whenever I first heard about it. Then it was like, oh, it's going to be Miz TV. I'm like, what? What are they going to talk about?
Right.
And it was just like, oh, let's just have them go out there and give them live mics and be wacky and zany. And
to me, it was just a dude going into business for himself. Like it wasn't like a coherent thing that they did. Even if it was something it was not for me. Like I could still be like, well, I see what they were trying to do. I don't know what the fuck they were even trying to do.
I'd like to see what they had in mind for that segment, as opposed to what
happened
we saw.
But I mean, I think it's funny in the sense that I think it's funny that the WWE will like try and get people to come because I think it makes them a bigger deal than they are, and then it can like blow up in their face sometimes. I think that's funny, but I don't think like what the guy was doing was funny. Like I don't know, when he was doing like I'm glad it was the Miz. Actually, I don't know. I kind of like to see like him in there with a dude who like takes himself seriously, like a Mark Henry is like, oh, you're gonna fucking clown me? Come here, let me slap the shit out of you. Like, you know, I'd like to see him in there with like a legit tough guy who's like, oh, you think you're gonna make a
you want to try and bow up to me?
Back in the day, if they did that stuff, like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were in there, hey, is that a mark?
I don't know, man. It's not for me. I guess they got what they wanted out of it. I thought it was pretty dumb.
Well, I know that they ended up issuing an apology, the WWE, that is, over the language that was used, saying,
that's not a big deal to me. I don't care about that.
Oh, yeah, but, I don't know if that was
I don't know why
their intention.
I laughed when that dude was running to the ring. That was goofy.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. That turns into a 6-person tag match. Miz teaming up with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. The
LeVar Ball,
the Miz-tourage, if you will. Going up against Dean Ambrose, Heath Slater, and Rhino.
Yeah, I guess that's good to give those two guys something. But you know what? I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, Bo doesn't have nothing going on. Nope. Just pair him with his brother.
I think that's what they might be trying to do, because if you notice, he's starting to grow.
That's what they're trying to do. No, he's with Miz, though.
Yeah. Well, he'll break away from that. But, yeah, I don't remember much about the match, but Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas end up in getting the victory. We got to see the Enzo and Big Cass segment, which we already talked about, which I thought was really well done. Enzo, being the talker that he is.
Like, I know I'm annoying, but you know that we're brothers.
I'm refusing to let this go. I'm refusing to let you walk away from this, and it was really well done. And you could see the look of shame and regret on Big Cass's face, which is why I bought into it, because I'm like, oh man, and then he comes out and is like, yeah, dude, ever since then
I knew something was up because there was taking a while to go up the ramp. I was like, they should have cut to another scene for something else. I was like, he's gonna turn on him. Yeah. And then you see the awkwardness. He's like looking at Enzo, and then clotheslines. I was like, okay, that was too awkward.
Yeah. It's like, here it comes, and then boom. The throw was pretty sick, where he just picked him up and threw him down the ramp. Yeah. That doesn't seem like it would be
he's a rag doll.
Yeah, that seemed quite painful.
I have to say, I think Big Cass is going to be Enzo at the pay-per-view.
Oh, sure. He's got to.
Poor Enzo.
Yeah. I did like the fact that they came back from commercial break, and they showed the announce team, and Big Cass comes up and confronts Corey Graves and was like, you ruined, you spilled the beans, and Kurt Angle has told me not to touch you, but you better stay out of my business. So I like the fact that,
They put him in the face.
No, he did not. He's been told not to touch Corey Graves.
And I can't help but think they really fucked up here.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, I think the split's done about as well as they could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, does Enzo fancy himself like an actor or something? Like, he teared up again like twice. Like,
yeah.
But in all seriousness, like, as soon as this angle with Enzo's over, Cass is fucking lost. He's gonna be thrown to the wolves, and he's gonna have
to go to SmackDown or something.
It doesn't matter where he goes. Name a babyface is gonna carry Cass's ass. Nobody.
Ooh. AJ Styles.
If they wanted to turn Cass They should have just made Enzo his manager because Enzo can't work and Cass is tall.
Yeah. See, and what I thought that they were going to do, like, during the
Together they work. Separately, I don't know, bro.
Like, part of me was expecting Enzo to say, dude, you know, I understand you want to go for the championships. You want to go for the gold. Let me be in your corner.
Yeah.
You know, let me be the guy who supports you. Like, I thought that would have been an excellent transition.
I think Hill Enzo could work, too. Like, I think for, like, their relationship is, like, symbiotic. Like, he's got to talk, and then Cass has got to be tall until he learns how to work.
It's that old fashioned that Looney Tunes commercial cartoon with the little dog standing in front of the giant bulldog. You know, he's yapping his mouth, but he knows that he's got the bulldog behind him to protect him. You know, that's Enzo and Cass to a T. And you take them out, you separate them from one another, and it's like, oh, okay. Well,
they make up for each other's flaws.
yeah. And
They
so
really do. They really do complement each other in the best possible way. Mm-hmm. And I honestly, I don't know if Enzo's going to make it. I don't know that if he will or not.
I think the best hope for him would be to 205, and even that's not that great.
Style. He can't work the style.
Is there really a style in 205 Live these days?
You seen how many Enzo matches you watched? The dude that all Enzo knows how to do is sell and get tossed around by Cass.
But that's because he's the small guy. Now he's going in there with other small guys so he can hold his own.
I mean, what do you do with him?
What is all this evidence to suggest he knows how to work that style of match? I don't know.
Oh, you know, those matches in NXT. You know the ones.
The ones where he's sold and got thrown around by Cass?
So after this, he's just going to go around doing comedy stuff. He's the comedy guy. He's going to be in the Santino spot.
I don't think he's necessarily has to be comedy. I mean, I think you can tweak like his promo style to be whatever face or heel. I just don't. If they put him on 205, I don't think he can work the matches because those guys, all the guys on 205 can work. Now they handcuff them. They sort of like funnel them into a style that they want them to work. They tone them down. Sure, but those guys can work if they want, if they are like allowed to. And Enzo can't. Enzo can talk.
But how often are they allowed to? That's the thing.
Enzo can talk. Yeah, but Enzo is barely competent. In my opinion, he's barely competent wrestler. I haven't seen a whole, like, what does an Enzo offensive sequence look like? I don't fucking know. Him getting tossed on people, but not of his own, like, volition, like him getting, like, someone else picking him up and getting tossed. Look, I don't think he can hang on 205 Live. I mean, he maybe in a non-wrestling role. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
I mean, nobody's fucking watching, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, I'm not. I've got too much on my plate as it is, and I just haven't been able to keep up with 205 Live.
I mean, I'm just like, I'm saying legitimately not that many people watch the show, so it probably doesn't matter if he's like any good or not. But I'm just saying that doesn't. I think Cass is just as fucked. Like, when this feud's over, where's he going?
Yep. He's going straight to the top, of course. He's going to fight Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. It's going to be
one of those situations, I bet, where they're going to... they're split, and they're going to try to do their thing and be like, you know what? We shouldn't have broke them up. Let's put them back together.
I don't think so. I think
not anytime soon.
I think they're going to be stuck like that.
Can you even think of any baby faces that can work with Cass? Maybe Ambrose after the Dean thing? I mean, after the Miz thing? Who else works with him? I don't know. Them boys are fucked.
I think it's the whole Damian Sandow splitting from Miz. Everyone wanted him to do his own thing, and then he finally broke away from Miz. And
no, but nobody asked for this split, though.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, once they split and they had their blow-off feud, it's like, okay, well, now what? And that's,
you
know.
What?
Never to be seen again. But, yeah, I don't know.
They didn't do anything with them as a tag team on the main roster. They could have kept them together while they, like, progressed and, like, tried to get better.
Yeah. Yep. But that's not the case. So they're Dunsky. We got to see Seth Rollins going up against Kurt Hawkins, 5-star matchup by anyone's reviews.
Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, Seth Rollins gets the victory. Bray Wyatt cuts a generic promo about I am God. I'll see you at Great Balls of Fire.
His balls
Any
are on
interest
fire.
in this matchup at all? Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt?
No, I could. Those are like, instant. Like,
Done.
yeah, I'm done with those dudes.
It was announced last week that Seth Rollins is going to be on the cover of 2K18.
Yay!
You seem pumped.
Their tag for this
Be like no one.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're gonna have a lot of customization in this game.
Hope so.
I mean, that's why I think
I hope
that
they up their game for it.
because it was
Get it.
before they went to the new generation, they had so much customization you could do, and they took it away when they went to the next generation.
Nah, dude,
console.
it's just like a video that they thought was cool, like the Lesnar video last year.
Who knows?
Do you think they're going to have Predator technology?
It's not gonna be 2.0. It's gonna be probably we should.
We're going to be like
When was
3.5
that?
at this point.
When was that?
Well, what
2014.
was the video for where they went through the city and they showed all the guys?
That was last year.
Okay, then what was the Lesnar Goldberg? Also last year? Did they have, were those both for the same game?
Mm-hmm.
Because Lesnar was a pre-order, not Lesnar.
Goldberg was pre-order.
Was pre-order.
Okay. So the commercials where they put Goldberg and like they get him out of the like bunker and then they drive him to the thing, and also the one where they go through the city and like they're in the bar and shit is all for the same game?
Yep.
Oh. That seems like a lot of like work for like the game, huh?
Well, that was the announcement that Goldberg was going to be in the game.
Oh, okay. And the other one was just like
The other one
forgetting-
was like the generic.
I gotcha.
Here's the actual commercial for it.
Yeah, I really think the Rollins is just that this year is that. Like, here's a cool video for the game.
Mhm.
I don't think it's going to mean, like, I have a lot of bearing on the game. Maybe it is. I could be wrong.
I thought the video was pretty sweet. Where he
was
goes into
fine.
the warehouse and
I think there's
destroys
gonna be a
everything.
lot
I liked it better before I realized it was Seth Rollins doing it all.
Like, okay.
He's like, man, this is pretty bad. Oh, it's Rollins. Never mind.
Shit.
Damn it. We got to see Neville defeat Lince Dorado. Akira Tozawa was ringside for that. As they're getting ready for their
like I
match.
said, this whole Titus stuff, like him butting in, like, what is he? He's a heel face? I don't know. He just wants to get his client over.
That's the most important thing.
And I like it.
Is Paul Heyman a heel or a face?
So, is Akira, like, he's with Titus? He hasn't said anything.
He has not, but it's certainly
We don't want Akira
he is
to
accepting the VIP lounge area.
Hey, look, man, I
He
do
didn't
not
have to
want
do that.
Akira to turn on Titus. He needs to be with Titus.
Sign on that line, Tozawa.
Yeah, you need to take this brand to the next level.
Come on, Tozawa. You can do this.
Tawaza. So, yeah, we got to see the backstage promo with Paul Heyman ending
I
with
just
goodness
want
gracious.
fucking
Great Balls
Titus,
of
like,
Fire.
fucking managing Dragon Gate guys for no fucking reason.
That'd be awesome.
Let me show you how it's done, boys. So, after that, we got to go into the main event of the evening, the first ever women's gauntlet match for Raw. And we kick things off with Bayley going up against Nia Jax. Nia Jax gets the win, which brings out Mickie James. Nia Jax gets the win. Dana Brooke comes out. Nia Jax gets the win. Emma comes out. Nia Jax gets the win.
Nia Jax comes out, and Nia Jax,
Gets the win. And then Sasha Banks comes out, and Sasha Banks gets the win to become number one contender. Poor Nia Jax, all that work for nothing.
It was like Sasha was in the picture. She got out of the picture just to do stuff with Alicia Fox.
Yep.
And then she's back in the picture.
Yep.
Weird.
Writing.
I mean, now what is Alicia doing? She's just bothering.
She's
What's it called?
recovering. Wait, who? Alicia Fox?
Alicia Fox is still
She's
with
recovering from an injured neck.
Yeah.
The
Supernova.
beautiful Alicia Fox. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
I did notice that the crowd was starting to show their support of Nia Jax because she was in there for a long time, and she certainly held her own. But Doug, what did you think of the gauntlet match?
That's a lot of Nia.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel sorry for Bailey because I don't know why they can't see that she could be money if they let her be.
She has money.
I mean, I'm sure she has money, but
at least she didn't go out as fast as Dana Brooke. I mean,
Yeah.
if there's any positive,
They
to
given
that,
up on Dana.
Well, Dana was a lost cause from the beginning.
Yeah.
Then they decided, hey, let's turn her face.
Uncharitable.
It is kind of rude. But
She's not. She doesn't have a ton of experience. They brought her up almost like 6 months of being in NXT, and she didn't do anything before NXT. She was just like a fitness model.
Well, to the
It's
same,
not entirely her fault. Is what I'm saying.
you could say the same argument about Braun Strowman.
Yeah, but
Braun was a fitness
I mean, that's
model.
like comparing me to Braun Strowman. Like, yeah, but like, you know, Braun Strowman's fucking Braun Strowman. I'm me, you know?
Well, that's Dana Brooke.
I don't know.
She's been in there a considerable time. And, you know, not saying that she's been given the same opportunities as Braun Strowman, but, you know. I don't know. Whatever. So, yeah, Sasha Banks is the new #1 contender. I found it odd that Kurt Angle came out and raised her hand in victory, and then Alexa Bliss came out, and they had their stare down, and then I forget, was it an attack or something that caused Alexa Bliss to leave, and then Kurt raised the hand of Sasha again. But anyways. So Sasha Banks, your new #1 contender, going to be facing Alexa Bliss at Great Balls of Fire. That takes us into some hot topics. We've already covered a few in the course of getting here. Tyson Kidd is rumored for a backstage role in WWE after his career was unfortunately cut short many months ago. It's been like 2 years or something, hasn't it?
It's been a long time.
Been a while.
It was the Joe's tryout dark match with the Buster.
That's rough. But it looks like they might have something for him backstage, so at least it's something.
It's fucking least I could do.
Mm-hmm. In Impact Wrestling news, as we're getting ready for Slammiversary 15, they have announced that Impact has acquired Global Force Wrestling.
We knew that was going to happen, huh?
Yeah, I figured it. Once Jeff Jarrett came back to the company and took the role that he did, I could kind of see it coming. It's like, yeah.
What does that mean? They're going to air all that ballpark tour footage that they did?
They are acquiring the whole library of Global Force Wrestling.
Like AAA baseball stadium shows that they did?
Yes.
Those TV tapings?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Like if they ever get behind on TV tapings, they're gonna run those unaired Global Force shows.
Exactly.
Man, I wish somehow we could have got that Scott Steiner thing.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
What are you talking about?
I got a press release, that Scott Steiner was open for interviews and promotion for Slammiversary, and I reached back out and said, hey, get me in on that. I want to interview Big Papa Pump. And so the person that I spoke to sent out another release saying, due to overwhelming numbers of interest, we're going to limit it, instead of like a 15-minute phone conversation to each of you, we're going to have one 30-minute conference call to where people can call into this number. Here's your access code, and people will maybe get chosen for questions while he talks about it.
You think you could rein that man in?
No. But, yeah, it would. I would have liked to have gotten an interview with Big Papa Pump.
How's business going on at Shoney's?
That's one of the topics that he was going to talk about.
I like Shoney's.
They also asked him about his crazy YouTube videos and pretty much anything wacky.
Is there still a Shoney's like right over there?
Not here.
Not anymore.
Houston's the closest one?
I guess so. I don't know where nearby Shoney's is.
There used to be one just, what is this right here?
On I-10?
Yeah, I mean going underneath back that way. Fuck it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Final bit of Hot Topic news, and this one's kind of exciting, at least for me. Mauro Ranallo is returning to WWE to join NXT commentary. So they worked out a deal, and
Something doesn't add up there.
No?
Something weird about that.
what's on your mind about it?
It just seems real weird to me that I mean, there was a lot of talk about like the JBL bullying thing, ourselves included, and like he sort of he sort of allowed that to become a thing, like become a story. And so if that's not true, that's kind of shitty that he would have like let that become a story, the story that it was. He made that one like official statement saying that he didn't have anything to do with that, but he didn't do a whole hell of a lot of controlling the narrative on that thing. They got really out of hand if it's not true. And if it is true, I think it's a little lame that he could be bought off like that so easily. So either way, something.
Well, do you think it might have been a thing where they approached him and they're like, look, dude, we'd love for you to work with us. Let's find a solution. Maybe we can bring you down to NXT. And he'd be like, okay, I'd come back for that. Something
doesn't seem right to me about it.
Interesting.
I think it's a little weird. I think it's more than a little weird how this whole thing played out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but to me, that something
maybe he said, "I'd love to work with you guys, but I don't want to work with JBL."
I think he sort of let this thing to become a thing that maybe either we were all wrong about, like ourselves included, because we were chiming in about that shit too, and he either let that become a thing a lot bigger than it was, or he didn't stick to his guns about like. To me, he's either like, if you can be bought off that easily by something that's supposed to be a big deal, that's not cool. And also, if it wasn't really that big of a deal and he sort of let it become this big deal, because it was a big deal. Like not just us was talking, like everybody was talking about it. It was like a huge fucking thing. So if he let that become that big of a deal and it wasn't, I think that's kind of shitty. And if it was that big of a deal and he could be bought off so easily to do business with him again, I think that's also shitty. So I don't know, man. Morrow, I don't know, man. Seems a little off to me. I don't know. It doesn't seem on the level to me. So I don't know. You guys could be excited about it. I'm not like, fuck this dude. I just something.
Is he calling this the NXT takeovers?
No, he's gonna do the tapings
like
as well.
Tom Phillips is out.
Oh, what's he doing?
He's doing SmackDown.
Oh, okay. That's all he's gonna do. Okay.
Well, I mean, Phillips said it's sort of been out, and it's sort of been like
Nigel and
Percy.
Yeah.
But it was like a 30-minute booth for a while. So.
This is another segue, but it has nothing to do with wrestling. Morrow is calling the Mayweather and
McGregor. Yeah.
Thing. I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I'm still interested in it, even though I don't know how it's gonna play out. But
what do you mean?
It's gonna play out like all of the other 40 matches that Mayweather has had.
McGregor's cashing out, dude.
Yeah.
Mayweather's gonna whoop that ass. He's not.
I don't know about that, but not. Like you say, he's gonna whoop his ass. I'm picturing like black eyes and bloody noses. Like I don't see it going that way.
Okay, Mayweather's gonna outbox that ass.
He's gonna do what Mayweather does best. He's very agile.
Defensive.
He's very defensive.
He's gonna hit Connor a lot, and he's not gonna get hit.
Yeah. Like I don't see this.
You think Connor's gonna get pissed off and throw a kick?
Oh, I hope he does, just to set the world ablaze. Because they're already going to be making buku money on this. And
this is like, to me, I just think he's cashing out. He's like the UFC like buyout things. Like people are seeing it go away that they don't like, and even though he's still like the biggest guy, it's probably trending away from like star-driven business, and it's becoming more of like a WWE thing where the brand draws instead of the stars. And he's like, "Fuck this! I'm about to cash out." Because he's gonna make like 100 million or whatever the fuck he's making. That's a lot of fucking money. He's probably just cashing out. He's probably, I'll take an ass whooping for $100 million. I mean, I'll take an ass whooping for $100 million.
I'll step in the ring to Floyd.
I mean, look, I'll take one punch and I'll go down.
There'll be 2 hits in that match. His fist to your face and your face to the mat.
I mean, I'll take an ass whooping for much less.
We're talking 9 figures, sir. I will happily take that money.
Man,
everyone's gonna buy into that fight too.
I'll take an ass whooping for much less than 9 figures. I'll take an ass whooping for 6 figures.
100 grand?
Yeah, I'll take an ass whooping for 100 grand right fucking now.
So if anyone out there wants to personally whip Doug's ass, all you have to do is come up with $100,000.
Any famous fighter out there want to beat up Well, it's got a
Famous.
draw. It's got a
Well,
draw.
sure.
They got-
Well, not
they got a-
necessarily. If someone comes up to you and says, "I've got $100,000 in my hand, let me kick
We
the
got
shit out of
Doug.
you."
No doubt.
Versus Data 5,000.
Anybody out there with 100 G's want to beat the shit out of a chubby middle-aged white dude? Fucking let's make this happen.
Let's do it. Let's sign the contract.
There you go. What's it gonna take?
I'm looking.
Tyler, what's your low ball number?
Low ball.
I'll look at
Yeah.
less than 100,000. I'll take an ass for 50 G's. 50 G's, you can have
$50,000
on a platter.
No, I'm the same 50.
I'll do 50,000 plus medical. Whatever my medical bills
yeah,
are.
okay, yeah,
Because
that's
I'm
good.
probably going to need facial reconstruction.
That's a good
and,
point. That's a good point.
I'm fat, so, chubby boy got to eat.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Got to get that good hospital food.
50 plus medical is a good. That's a good idea. Good call.
Medical and dental.
Yeah.
And I get a mouth guard.
Shit, you know what? No, I'm gonna let him knock the teeth out because I'm gonna get those fucking implants. I'm gonna get all the teeth. I'm getting all the teeth.
Ooh, yeah. That's
I'm gonna
good
get
stuff.
that nice smile.
Yeah.
I'm getting implants.
I'm never
$50,000.
getting cavities ever again.
So you want medical and dental.
That's right.
All right. Plus 50 G's. Same for you?
Yeah.
What about vision? Do we need vision?
Fuck, I can barely see now. No, I'm just kidding.
Laser corrective surgery on them, man. It messed up my good eye.
I can actually see pretty well, so I think I'm all right.
All right.
I've always wanted glasses. I've always wondered how I look
I
with
got
glasses.
50-30. What?
There you go. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. If you have any questions for us, leave it on our YouTube channel, WNS Video, or our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com or WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. And subscribe to us on iTunes if you so choose by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, Player.fm, and Satchel. And all you have to do is search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
Yes, the podcast is on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel's at WNS_Daniel. Tyler's at Tyler_Aber.
There you go. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
Wubba lubba dub dub. I'm Tyler Aber.
I'm Doug.
Tiny Rick. And we'll catch you all next week.